Hello, Barmy Badger Army.
Hey, Badger Army.
Welcome to the show, guys. This is a fantastic. Once again, we are back on the bench. No, we're not. We're on the railway track. But yeah, hope everyone's okay.
It's not in use.
It's not in use, and it's a small children's railway track. So we're okay. But yeah, I hope everyone's alright. Today we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones finale and the banning of plastic straws, which is hot news as it came out an hour ago as recording to this filming of this video. So I hope everyone's alright. Now, I personally watched the Game of Thrones finale and it was an hour and a half well spent. Obviously, this is nearly 10 years in the making. I really enjoyed it. I think that a lot of people that are expecting loads were probably unsure. Now, the thing is, I can understand why people wouldn't be up for it the way it ended, but I personally enjoyed it. I think it tied in a lot of things. There was a few mysteries online where I had to look up, like where the dragons went and a few different things like that I had to make sure to be clear of. But overall, I really enjoyed it. And I'm trying not to give spoilers, but the scenes in there were really dramatic. The scenes in the throne room with Daenerys were really intense. Obviously, there was a lot of stuff in there before with the big White Walkers fight. There was like the scenes before that happened, and there was the big sort of reveals. There was lots of stuff in there that you think maybe it was too nicely tied up, and I think maybe people wanted a bit of mystery and some mini series which apparently aren't going to happen now, which is a shame in a way.
They'll change their mind about spin-offs.
You think they'll change their mind about the spin-offs?
I mean, when I did the Game of Thrones tour last year, which you can still watch on this channel.
Exactly. Yes. Live, nicely done.
You can see it in a travel video. I was speaking to the guy who's doing the tour has actually been an extra on Game of Thrones before, and he was saying, you know, it's quite likely that there'll be some kind of spin-off shows. So yeah. I mean, you know, I just can't see them not
wanting to carry it on.
Not wanting to carry it on. You know, they might not use the same writers.
Yeah.
You know, they maybe not the same crew. To be honest with you, I don't think you were ever gonna. I don't think any spin-off would quite top Game of Thrones.
No, this is true.
You know, things like, this was the end of it was, you know, it was quite an event to a lot of people.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
I mean, don't forget, this is nearly 10 years in the making, and that's what I'm saying. So I can understand why people might be underwhelmed or want more from it or want something different. And there was a big backlash that we've talked about in the previous episodes. But I just think, you know, come on, guys. George R. Martin hasn't written the final book yet. They wanted to close off the series. They had to think of their own story and the way that they would finish it. So you have to let them off a bit. They were literally, for the first time, probably ever, not having any real scripted idea of what to do. They weren't following any source material. They just had to end it the way they wanted to. They already had near enough a year off of filming. So they had to, they wanted to film it off. They'd given him enough time to write the book and get it published and get the ideas.
He was like an advisor to the writing or something like that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he had some kind of idea of how it would end in his head.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like J.K. Rowling had written the end of Harry Potter, you know, long before she wrote the rest of the last book. It was something like it was something like the third or fourth book in.
And she knew how it was going to end.
Not just knew, she'd written it.
Really?
Yeah. I remember seeing an interview with her where she's actually said she's started writing the end and she was adding in little bits to it all the time.
That's mad.
So,
but then I can sort of understand with her, whereas she does end up putting these little nuggets of information in, you find out recently that Dumbledore is potentially homosexual or bi. So there's all these different things in there. But yeah, it's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's probably a show that will be remembered for years to come.
Game of Thrones will definitely be remembered for years to come. I personally think that it's going to get more fans, it's going to get new people in, there's going to be more conventions. I think if you were a star in that, you could live off of that for the rest of your life, because you'd be able to do conventions, you'd be able to do all the different signing appearances, all these things. I think, it's got real good legs. And like you're saying, the spin-offs may happen. If they don't, I still think that's nearly 10 years of someone's life. Acting ability and things like that. I think they're going to do well. The stars of that show, and it's HBO, I think they're going to do great. My personal opinion on the last season was that it was good. Yes, there were some plot holes, but they finished it off as well as they could. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. And now we're going to talk about plastic straws, Nick. What are your views on plastic straws, Nick?
Well, they aren't exactly dragons, are they?
They're not exactly dragons, but they do cause a lot of environmental damage.
Like dragons do.
Like dragons do, burning thrones. But yeah, apparently it's all to do with these small little pellets of plastic straws that come out. So when they're obviously in the water, when they obviously get put in waste dumps and that, apparently there's these tiny microscopic pieces of plastic, and that's the problems with these things, and that's where they go wrong with these things. And I understand people are used to the plastic ones, but I think overall, I think it's like a year's time, they're going to be banning plastic straws.
In many ways, I think it is a good thing. It's maybe not going to have quite the dramatic positive impact on the environment that people might make out.
Indeed, yeah.
Interestingly, they're looking at banning, was it like cotton buds?
Cotton buds as well. Yeah, so because obviously most cotton buds obviously have a big piece of plastic to hold the two bits of cotton. So I'm guessing they could turn those in to paper. I have seen some of the paper ones before, and to be honest, I didn't really like them. They're harder to use because obviously potentially they could get trapped in your ear. As long as it's like really hard sort of paper or cardboard, I think it'd be all right. But if they're flimsy, it'd break in your ear.
Yeah, I think the thing with going back to plastic straws, there are some people who find plastic straws easier to use.
This is true, yeah.
Than paper straws. You know, and I think those, and you do need to take into account those kinds of people.
Yes.
If you are one of those people, stack up on your plastic straws now and take some with you.
Exactly, and your plastic earbuds as well.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of them are like the thing is, a lot of these straws and stuff, they are handed out willy-nilly and
exactly,
disposed of
this is true, yeah.
Which is something that I think we need to get away from.
Like the recycling aspect of it needs to be handled better. You're probably right there, Nicholas.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm all in favour of doing things that are, doing things that are a bit more environmentally friendly.
Like eating corn.
That's quite possible, but at the same time, even if it's just like not driving, the thing is, a lot of it, going back to corn, it's maybe not relying on kind of like lots of people to go vegan. It's relying on lots more people to eat less meat.
This is true, and this is the thing.
That's another way, which is another way of looking at it. There's other things as well. It's like maybe people to use their cars less.
Yes, this is true.
Use more public transport.
Is there a point? I know people that just drive down the road to the shops. You could walk that, or cycle, or anything just quickly. It's a 5-minute journey, and it's like the school runs and things like that. I do try to use less buses and use scooter and things like that as much as I can. And there is a big drive for like the school run being all sorted out and things like that, where it's like, no, don't use your car, do it this sort of way.
I mean, whenever my mum was like, "We're walking to school today," I was like, "What?" But looking back now, it's good that she did.
It's good that she did, and you saved money because you didn't use petrol or diesel or whatever.
Exactly. I mean, when you're 9, this stuff doesn't occur to you, but
then it does. Exactly. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for joining us for this week's On the Bench, and it's been a fun-packed time as usual.
It has been quite fun-packed as well. So yes, it's good to do your bit for the environment. It'd be nice if everyone did. Big corporations, we're looking at you.
We're looking at you, big corporations. and the little man as well. We can always help out. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll be back real soon for more On the Bench, and let us know your thoughts on what we've talked about today. See you later on, guys. Bye for now, Barmy Badger Army. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you found this video somewhere random. Welcome to the show. See you later on, guys. Bye. Ta-ra.